I messed that one up. All right. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Redstone and Lapis Lazuli. It is I, your host, Pogo Kiddo. Yes, hello. Good morning. I am 45 minutes late. 45 minutes late. Why would I be so late in the morning? Well, let me tell you, because I woke up with a headache. A headache. Headache. I woke up with a headache. Woke up in the morning and it's got a headache. Yeah, it's hard to live. It'll be a long time before shit starts to give.
You can only sleep at night.
So yes, I've uploaded this world to a server online, so I can have other people join me in my world as I play. However, this world limits the view distance, so I can't see quite as far anymore. I've worked on my base. You know, I got my own bed here.
Respawn point set.
I finally
you can only sleep at night.
I finally got a corner set up here for enchanting. I got my first enchanted like stuff going on here. I've only got 13 iron. I've got like no iron. That's the problem. I've got like nothing. I'm broke. Broke as a joke. Hey, that's weird. Why are these windows looking like that? Here, hold on, settings. Resource packs. Active. Oh, that's because no resource packs are going. They have to be, because like, it's glowing. It's all nice and pretty. Here, let me try something else. Here, save and quit. Bop. Settings. Global resources, active. Yeah, go up one, okay. Let's see how that works. Oh, good morning. Yeah, man, when I have a headache, I am useless. I can't do anything. I think these windows are a little bit better. I'm not sure. All right. Yeah, welcome. I've worked on my base a little bit. As you can see, I rearranged it. I haven't moved this bed yet, because if I break this bed, then the other person playing on the server will lose their respawn point, and the spawn point is way up in the mountain. Way up in the mountain. It's a pain in the butt to get down here. So I haven't done that. I haven't touched that. Okay. I reclaimed the front. I claimed the front basically. And I'm getting a farm going. I have like another portal over there. I've got a little bit of agriculture going. I've got some animal husbandry going. Got my sheep here all ready to go. Got my pigs going. I've started growing trees, so I don't need to chop down the forest anymore, because that was not so fun to chop down a forest. I mean, it's, you know, there's plenty of trees, but still, like, once you chop down a tree, it's gone. And like, yeah, I mean, sure, it's easy to replace them in Minecraft, but still. Also, I managed to get horses. I found horses. So, and some donkeys too. But with the resource pack I'm using, you can't see them. So here, let me take this off real quick. Yay, the horsies! I have 2 horsies and 2 donkeys. So yeah, and these guys are pretty fun to ride. Because normally it would take me forever to climb up and down these little things. Oh, hey, llamas. There must be a trader around here. But with the horse, like, I can handle the mountains no problem. It's easy to go up and down. So I almost think horses are like a requirement now for for getting around the island on Minecraft, this island. Anymore, yeah, look at this. You need a horse. No more jumping for me. Forget that. Oh, geez. Jumping around all the time. Horses are the way to go. It's how you get around here. I don't have enough iron to make tracks yet. And even if I had iron for tracks, I don't have gold for the powered part of it. So because I've got nothing. Horses are the best form of transportation. So yeah, I got that going. I found 2 zombies that I could cure. One guy picked something up, and this person I gave them a name from the name tag I fished out of the ocean. Because I had nothing else. He wouldn't pick up anything, so I had to I had to give him a name tag. Okay, yeah, so here's my little farm going. This took like hours. It's funny, right? It's like, no way, this took hours? Yeah, this took hours to get to this point. Like I don't have enough iron for armor yet. Yeah. I made it to the nether and I got some nether wart, and then I realized I don't even need nether wart to make the splash potions of weakness. But I needed a blaze rod, which I got. I had plenty of. So yeah, that's about where I am in this world. It's the very beginning. I'm just getting situated in my home. And I've been having a lot of fun playing. Hey, good morning, More. Good morning. Welcome to my show, the very very late show, but hey, it's going today. So good morning, More. How are you? What's going on with you? I myself am touring what I've done for the past week. Before I start my show proper, when I start talking about stuff. This world is on an island, so I have a big island, and there's a mountain in the middle of the island where you spawn. So I'm on this island, and I want to like eventually conquer the mountain, or at least climb the mountain and make a base up there. But for the meantime, I can't even hardly get anywhere because I have no iron. Sí, hablo español, pero no muy bien, un poco. He empleado todos las palabras. Así que no, no verdad. No puedo hablar español. Lo siento. Hay muchas palabras. Yo no lo conozco. I don't know. Sorry. I don't speak Spanish. But I can show you my world here. Anyways, so that let me put some stuff back and let's go on an adventure. I want to go to get more iron because I have no iron, and I found out that if you dig up iron, that's the wrong way to do it. Digging up iron is slow and it takes a long time. So the best way to get iron, I need to make clothes, is to find it. Just find it in a cave. But the problem is I haven't found any really good caves until just recently. So I just found some caves. It's a huge cave, and I think I can get a bunch of iron in that cave. I have a magical efficient or fortune 3 pickaxe, so hopefully this should make it easier. Okay, let's go. Oh wait, I'm gonna sleep first, so I have more daylight to get there. The lead on my horse. All right, yeah, more. I'm sorry, I don't
Respawn point set.
speak Spanish.
You can only sleep at night.
Good luck in finding other people who speak Spanish with you, and yeah, it'll be great. For now, I'm gonna spend the first 15 minutes playing Minecraft just to like establish that I play Minecraft, and then I'm gonna get into some news.
Respawn point set. You can only sleep at night. Respawn point set.
So yeah, I'm gonna wait till it's nighttime, sleep, and then I'm gonna go take my horse on the trip. I have to make a path. Actually, I don't even need the horse. I know how to get into the mine. It's not that far. Well, one of the entrances is really far, but one of the entrances is like right here. There. Yeah, so there's an entrance over here into the mine, into a giant cave that's in the mountain. It's like a huge cave. It's like a whole biome in there. Like it's its own thing. I got lost in there by accident, and when I finally found my way out, I popped out like, yeah, in a place I didn't expect. Oh, I forgot to bring torches. Maybe I don't have torches. But I have I have wood. All right, so here, check out this cave. Like, it gets ridiculous. Look at this thing. Oh, there's an Enderman down there. All right, no Enderman today. No Enderman fight, dude. I don't want to fight you right now. Dude wants to fight. Look at him. Look at him. It's like, I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you, Pogo Kiddo. I want to fight you. Ow. Shit. Yeah, this is a huge cave. And so I think the best way to find iron is just to wander around like this. I tried digging in the dark for it, and you don't get hardly any iron. But you go hunting for it when it's exposed, and you might find it. So I've been here before, obviously. I have torches everywhere. I want to make sure I get enough coal with me. Look how dark it is over here. Oh! So anyways, if I can get down there, it's a giant cave network. It's a huge cave. Yeah, you can see, look, it's a huge cave. I just can't get down there. don't want to use up that pickaxe. It's my fortune pickaxe. Hey, what's up, Zach? Zach Thater. Yeah, what's up, dude? Welcome. Yeah. It's hard to find stuff. It's hard to find iron, and I'm in early game. I can't find any iron. So I feel compelled to make an iron farm because I can't get iron otherwise. Like, I'm spending all my time building an iron farm or my regular base, but I can't find enough iron to make anything. Like, I can't even make hoppers because I don't have enough iron. What's up, my zombie dude? I like your armor. I'm wearing just like leather. But I'll take your pants. Sure. Yeah, I want to make an iron golem farm, but to make an iron golem farm, you need to have villagers. And I don't have any villagers. I have to, I don't want to steal them because that would be stealing and slavery. I don't want to do that. So I have to find a way to do it without stealing people. Ooh, iron. And the way I do it is I find zombified villagers and I cure them. That way I can make an iron farm. But to do that, I had to go to the nether to get a blaze rod. I know, right? They're only bots. They're not actually humans. But I don't like to steal. Plus, I'm on this island. On this island, I don't have any villagers. There's no villagers on this island. What am I even doing? Get this iron with my fortune pickaxe. There we go. Okay. Do I want content? I mean, like, I guess this is content, but I don't have to show this stuff off. I mean, the content of my show basically is me telling Americans about the fascist takeover of the United States and of the world. How fascists are trying to take over the world. That's the purpose of my show. Minecraft is kind of like the vehicle of how I get around to explaining it. Because Minecraft makes it easy to explain concepts that are too hard to visualize otherwise. So I like using, and plus Minecraft is just fun. It's Minecraft is a game you can play without having to devote 100% of your brain to it. Like, that's my problem. If I play a game like a shooter, I am 100% in the game of the shooter, and I can't talk about anything. Even now, playing Minecraft, I'm pretty much in Minecraft, but I can stop Minecraft whenever I want and start talking about stuff. So no, I don't want to steal a villager. I don't even have a villager to steal anyways, even if I wanted to. Plus, it's hard to like talk against fascism if I'm stealing villagers. Like, who's gonna believe me if I say no fascism, but then I start acting fascist on my own show? That would be bad. Well, maybe you're not interested in it, and maybe you're not, it doesn't interest you, but there's a lot of people who don't know what's going on with Putin. Like, people had no idea about what's going on. I was talking to this woman who the first time I mentioned Ukraine to her, she thought that Ukraine was the bad guy. because of what she heard from the TV. So I had to teach her that Ukraine is not the bad guy, Putin is the bad guy. But oh, you really are interested. Okay. Oh, okay. I thought you were being sarcastic. Cuz it's hard to do. Okay, well then excellent, dude. I didn't know. I'm sorry. I thought you were being sarcastic and saying like, "Oh, I just want to watch you play Minecraft." Yeah, no. I mean, I play Minecraft. Look, check it out. I got a bunch of iron. I like that. From a little kind of cave here. So, yeah, like it's pretty crazy what's going on. Russia has been trying to take over. Well, I wouldn't say Russia, but the USSR used to control Ukraine, and it was really bad for Ukraine. They got murdered a lot and starved to death, and all their food was taken from them. It was not a good deal for the Ukrainians. So they got free. They got in the 90s. The Soviet Union collapsed. It just couldn't maintain anymore. So it collapsed, and all the countries that used to be under control of the Soviet Union became free. They got their independence. Well, Putin, he used to be in the KGB. He used to in the old KGB. He used to be in it. So he's watching the Soviet Union collapse, and he's seeing all these countries become free again, and he's like, I don't like this. I don't like these countries being free. I want these countries to come back to the Soviet Union, to be under control of Russia. So bit by bit, Putin has been trying to take over these countries any way he can. The country right next to Russia is called Belarus, which is funny. Like Belarus, pretty Russia. And yeah, they voted for democracy. The people voted for democracy. They voted for the president named Navalny. But Putin doesn't want Belarus to be free. So Putin sent his army, his secret troll army, to take over the country, and they invalidated the election. They said, no, we don't care what the election said. We're gonna install a puppet anyways, and they did. They installed a puppet in Belarus, and they poisoned the winner, Navalny. But Navalny didn't die. He survived. So instead, the Russians put him in prison, and that's where he is right now. He's in prison while the Russians take over the country of Belarus. Hey, what's your quick question? Go ahead. What's your quick question? I will answer your question if I can, and if I cannot, I will look it up. If all of the countries know that Putin is a bitch, why don't they just smack him? Okay, so there's a problem, right? Putin is a bitch. Everyone knows Putin's a bitch. Some people but the problem is Putin, even though Putin's a bitch, Putin controls Russia. So he can make the Russian people are not free. The Russians are under control of Putin. So Putin can make the Russians suffer really, really bad if he wants to, because he's in control. So if we go to war with Russia, it's not going to really hurt Putin, because Putin doesn't die in war. Putin doesn't even get involved in war. Putin sends poor Russians to go die in war. And that's who dies in a war. It's not Putin, it's the poor Russians who are not in control of their own government. So it's not like the West can go and just send their armies and then invade Russia. Because if you invade Russia, you're going to kill Russians who are not in control of the country. Yeah, it's a giant hostage situation. That's a perfect way of putting it. It's a hostage situation. Putin has the Russians as a hostage. So Yeah, that's another question. Why don't we assassinate Putin? Right? Well, there's a big taboo against assassinations of world leaders. Because if you start assassinating world leaders, everyone's going to start assassinating world leaders, and that's going to start getting crazy. Like, the whole point is to not have violence. Assassination is just another form of violence. And do you know how World War I started? World War I started because one country assassinated the leader of another country, and then there was a giant war. So assassinations will lead to war. Assassinations are not a way to stop war. They will lead to war. Yeah, you can't assassinate your way out of war. It's not going to work. It doesn't work that way. So, yeah, and the whole point is not to have violence, right? Democracy, the reason why we invented democracy is to find a way to resolve conflicts without the use of violence. Because when it comes down to violence, you know, that's then when you live in a world of violence, then it's just might makes right. And that's not the way it is. Might does not make right. That's not true. All that might does just means you have more violence. That's it. It doesn't actually prove anything. So we're trying to improve the world, make the world a better place. Yeah, the world can be pretty crappy, but that's why everyone is trying to work together to make it a better place for everyone. You can't make the world better for just a few people. You have to make it better for everyone. That's the only way forward, is if you make the world better for everyone. Not just for a few people, but for everyone. I really like this RTX. It really helps make Minecraft a lot better. Plus, with the new terrain generation, I really like the new terrain generation. I like the new caves. I like the new mountains. I think they've done a great job. I think, yeah. If they can keep going with terrain generation and make new biomes underground, that would be great. Okay, so it's like a hostage. Okay, so you say, I mean, all of the stuff that is happening right now, and then we have Kim Jong-un or whatever the fuck his name is, who likes to have heart attacks, heat attacks. Yeah. So what North Korea does is what they do. Okay, look at Russia and at Putin, and what Putin is doing is what Kim Jong-un does. He does the same thing. He threatens violence in order to get concessions from the West, free stuff. He wants to get free stuff from the West. So he threatens with missiles to start a war unless the West gives him free stuff. But if you keep doing that, if you keep rewarding him for threatening, he's going to keep threatening. Yeah, it's like a sticky situation we're in. We're trying to free the world and free people, humans. But all over the world, we have all these dictators who don't want to give up their power. They value power over everything else. So, like, we gotta figure out a way to to deal with all this. Yeah. Now the school issue. Now, I don't know where you are, but in the United States, schools are starting to reopen and they're wanting to take away the masks. But I think that's a crazy idea because, like, all over the world, there's starting to be a resurgence. If you take off your masks, then there's a resurgence of the disease. Like, I know everyone's tired of it. I know everyone's tired of the disease, but, like, you can't just get tired of it. You can't stop. You can't just stop, because if you stop, then everything's going to come back again. All the diseases, all our progress that we've made is going to be gone, and a new disease is going to come out with a new variant that the vaccine won't stop. can't get tired. We have to keep going and stay vigilant. But the powers that be, why are the schools starting? Because the powers that be, they want to say that the economy is good. Oh, look, everyone's back to work. Everyone's back in the economy. In order to get people back in the economy, they have to be able to go to work. But if their kids are at home, that means parents can't go to work. If parents can't go to work, the economy crashes. So, in order to save the economy and to make sure that rich people keep making money, the powers that be want to send the kids back to school. I think that's stupid. That's dumb, dude. The kids are going to get sick. And it's going to be just as bad as before. But in order to save the economy, they don't care. I think that's short-sighted. I think that's a dumb way of doing it. Yeah, it's not like a new thing, right? It's not like humans haven't dealt with this before. Humans have been dealing with the plague ever since there have been humans. It's just now the plague has been politicized. Now you have people who try to turn the disease into a way of getting power. And they've lied their way into it. They just lie to people. Oh, my axe is gonna break. I need to fix it. Okay. Yeah, it's not like we haven't done this before. We've had plagues lots of times. It's just that this time we have an idiot. We have idiots trying to mess up everything. Okay, let me show you while I'm cooking some iron up. I have to cook up some iron here. Make a little mini base. Make a mini base, a little home, a little tiny home. But yeah, I'm Y level 38. I'm not even that deep. So yeah, that's right. The powers that be want to send the kids back to school because if the kids are at school, that means parents can be free to go to work. And that means the economy stays open, which means no one's on unemployment and you can show the big chart. Look, I made unemployment go down. Yeah, but how did you do it? You sacrificed the children. That's how you did it. Oh, man. How's this going to end? You know what? I wish I could tell you. I don't know. I don't know. Like, okay. Yeah. So you kind of see you recognize the problem. You recognize the problem. I recognize the problem. A bunch of people recognize the problem. But an issue of our society, the Western society, is that this is like a time where you can see where the values of a society come into play. Like, what does your society value? And we can see really clearly what the American society values. Look where the money goes. The easiest way is to see where does the money go. And we can see in 2019, 2020, the United States had massive massive civil unrest. Millions of people took to the streets to protest against the murder of black Americans by the police. It happens all the time, all the time. And what was the message? What was the message? The message was defund the police, because you keep giving money to the police and then you don't give money to the community, so that the community starves. Then the overpowered police come in and brutalize the starving community. The whole thing is messed up. So the people said, why don't we reverse this dynamic? Why don't we switch it around? Why don't we starve the police and make the community overpowered? Why don't we just flip it around? Let's flip it around. Let's do it over. And the powers that be, it doesn't matter if they're Democrat or Republican. It doesn't matter. All over the nation, over the United States, what happened? They increased the money to the police. The exact opposite of what the people wanted. So, yeah. So it's like, oh my God. A lot of people are so frustrated that they say, forget it. Let's just burn it all down. Let's just burn the whole thing down. Like, it's useless to even try. Why don't we just start all over and burn the whole thing down and then begin brand new? I'll tell you why. All right. Hey, see you later. See you later, Zach. Thanks for hanging out. But I'll tell you why people don't just start all over. Look at this world right here, right? Look at this world that I'm in right now. It's a brand new world. Do you see how hard I have to work just to get through anything? Like, humans have done the start all over thing many times before. It was never pretty. It never worked out for them. It never worked out. Back in the day, humans, like, when humans first started doing their thing, they had something called they just started discovering bronze working, how to work bronze, because before then humans were using stone tools to do everything. Stone tools are terrible. Have you ever tried to use stone tools to make anything? It's awful. It's awful. Yeah, it's awful to use stone tools. So humans got smart and started using other stuff. There's copper all over the place, copper. But copper by itself is not really all that great. You can't really use it for much. Here, come on. Let's get out of here. Because copper is brittle. If you try to like use it for like anything, it'll break. Because copper is not that great. But back in the day, humans figured out if you put 1 part copper or 10 part copper to 1 part tin, you make this compound, you make this new thing called bronze. And bronze is great. It's not brittle like copper. It doesn't just snap when it bends instead. So you can it's malleable. So instead of snapping, it bends, but it's still durable. It still like holds a shape. So that was like revolutionary back in the day. So they started making all sorts of new tools and weapons with this stuff, with bronze. But then something happened. And like, yeah, and the civilizations were advancing all over the Mediterranean Sea because they figured out how to work bronze, and bronze let them do all sorts of amazing things. They made so many great things. But then something happened. And from the West came sea peoples. endless waves of sea people, people on boats, who came with their children and their wives and their animals all in tow. So they were leaving something else, and they all came west or east, and they overwhelmed the empires of the east, who were becoming powerful from the coal, or from their who were becoming powerful from their from the bronze, the trade of bronze. And because of the supply line disruption, because remember, copper is no good unless you have tin to turn it into bronze. Well, the sea people disrupted the trade. They established a blockade or something, and they blocked all the tin from moving around. So they couldn't make bronze anymore. Well, if you can't make bronze anymore, then your whole civilization collapses, which it did. And so for 1,000 years, the Mediterranean fell back into darkness. They forgot how to read, they forgot how to write, they forgot all their great stuff. They forgot it all. They just forgot it for 1,000 years. That's funny. It's a monster party. Who could ask for more? Thank you, Creeper. It's a monster party. So humans have forgotten stuff before. It's not like we haven't forgotten stuff. We've done it before, and it can happen again. We can totally forget stuff again. I mean, we're in the middle of it right now. Look at how many humans have succumbed to the politicization of COVID. Like, they don't know how to think for themselves anymore. No room for iron. Some of the stuff. What am I holding on to the stuff for? Gravel? Come on, get out of here. Get out of here. I'm caving. Yes, I'm caving. Oh no, hey. Okay, that's it. This cave is clean. I think I got all the iron out. That iron or coal? It's coal. Iron. Iron! Hey, there's a cave right there. Let's continue. Yeah, delicious iron. It's a lot better when you have a Fortune 3 pickaxe. Coal! Glorious coal! Yeah, caving is a lot faster to get stuff. So how long have I been going? Let me go, like, get out of here. I mean, I kind of want to stay here. I'm digging, like, now that caving is productive for me, I kind of want to stay here. Like, get more stuff. I haven't found that big cave yet. This isn't the giant cave. All right, this is the way out, right? Yes. Oh no. Okay, way out. Let's get out of here. Show me the way out. Oh no. Get out of here, slime. What are you doing? You know what? Here, I don't want to go get it. I don't want to. Let's go over here. I want to keep looking. Looking for iron. All right, no iron. Oh, right here. Yeah. Iron right there. Descend into the darkness. Oh yeah, check it out. This is nice. Oh wow, look at this. Oh, it's great. Yeah, this is this leading to the big cave? Oh! Oh man, it's dark in here. I don't need any redstone. There's nothing in this cave for me. I don't need redstone. Yeah, so that's weird. It doesn't look like if I go down deep, I can't find any more iron. There's gold right there. But anymore, the nether's the best place for gold. Yeah, look how slow it is to mine here. It's just not worth it. Like it's the pain in the butt to get to these things. Hey, some right there. Caving, caving. Yeah, like wow, caving's actually fun again. This is Minecraft. All right, climb out of the cave. That's a nice cave, but it didn't have what I needed. It wasn't what I was looking for. I found a bigger cave. I'm gonna have to find another way of getting to it. I know how to get to it. I mean, I know how to get to it. I know where it's at, but it's a bit of an adventure to get there. Right. You know what? I don't even know how to get out of here now. How do I get out of here? Oh, right there. Okay. Okay. Simple, simple. Look at that whole other cave thing right there. Look at a hole in the cave that I didn't even see. No, no, no. Let's see if I can make it back. I haven't talked about anything on my show today. A little bit about Putin being a dick, but... Okay. Oh, there we go. The way out. All right. Ha 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 ha. Up there. I need to find a better way of getting down here. So yeah, super nice. Almost out. I'm gonna climb out of this cave. I'm getting out of this cave. And I'm out. All right. Survival. So yeah, that cave was right there. Oh, what a great adventure. It was right there. Okay. So now we're back. I'm going to put stuff away here. Okay. Hold on, let me put some stuff away here. I gotta get this sorted out. Too much stuff. Okay. I need to make more stuff if I'm gonna do this more regularly. But yeah, I don't want to burn all my coal. So I was very fortunate to have a pool of lava right underneath my base. Because otherwise I would be burning up all my coal, and that's no fun. So if I let that smelt, I'll probably get my get experience points, all the experience I need to like enchant something else. Well, alrighty then. That's not a bad start. Okay, so what do we got here? What do we got here? What do we got? Okay, remember how I was saying that the fascists have politicized COVID so that COVID is going to kill a lot more people because it's being confused with disinformation. One of the people spreading disinformation is my old nemesis, Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is sitting there telling people not to get the vaccine. But it's weird because of like a few years ago, he was telling people that he loves vaccines and that people who don't get vaccines were stupid. All of a sudden, Joe Rogan has become the stupid people who don't get a vaccine for stupid reasons. Here, listen. Joe Rogan used to be on our team. He used to be a cool guy.
We get through it, though. We are going to get through it.
I hope this wakes people up to the value of vaccines, too. There's so many wackos out there that think that vaccines are, a scam or they're dangerous or there's so many people out there that won't vaccinate their children.
I know, and that's one of your best shows you ever did was Peter Hotez.
Yes,
he's a dear friend of mine.
Guy.
I do too. He's a dear friend of mine, as you. And he is one of the champions out there on this very issue.
Yes.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think that's really an important point that we got to get this idea. These vaccines can be life-saving. If we had one right now, think how different the situation would be in we're in right now. Thank you for what you do say about vaccines, because people listen to you, and we need every positive voice because we have so many crazy voices out there right now that are so
paranoid and delusional, and they want it all to be a conspiracy. There's been an amazing medical innovation in human culture, and that's vaccines. It's amazing what it's done. And have there been adverse effects on people? Of course, everything that people do. There's some people that are going to react in a bad way. It doesn't mean it's not a positive thing.
So Joe Rogan 2 years ago knew what was going on. What happened to Joe Rogan that made him forget? What happened? Oh yeah, the money. Joe Rogan figured out he could make a lot of money by tricking people. And so that's what Joe Rogan does. He tricks people to make money so he can make money. Yeah, Joe Rogan's a bad guy. He's bad for America. He's not doing a show to spread truth. He's doing his show to spread BS, because BS is easier to produce than actual truth, actual knowledge, actual content. BS is easier to produce. I saw this comic. I thought it was great. This is why it's easier for propagandists to spread their information, because all they're spreading is bullshit. It's very, very easy to produce bullshit. Super easy to produce bullshit. It's very difficult to produce knowledge. Knowledge is hard to make. Bullshit is easy to make. So the BS asymmetry principle, the amount of energy needed to refute BS is an order of magnitude bigger than to produce it. So one guy can say, wait, I bet the moon is made of cheese. Like, how stupid is that? What BS is that? Right? Total BS to say that thing. And then this person comes by and says, well, Spectrographic analysis and orbit calculations suggest not. Plus, we built a rocket, took people there, and they couldn't eat it. So it takes a lot of work to produce knowledge. It takes no effort whatsoever to produce bullshit. And then they go back and they just reproduce the bullshit. Oh yeah, I'm still thinking cheese. Like, what a dumbass. What BS. But remember what that comes back to? That comes back to my show last week about epistemology. It's easy and free to make any proposition you want. It costs nothing to make propositions, to make bullshit. The moon was made of cheese. Donald Trump is a good guy. Like, you can say all sorts of bullshit. It's a bunch, who cares? But to find knowledge, that's difficult. It takes a lot of work to make knowledge. It takes no effort at all to make BS. That's why propagandists flood the airwaves with bullshit. So people only hear the bullshit and they never get to the knowledge, because it takes work to make knowledge. It takes no effort to make bullshit. There's lots of ways to trick people. Lots of ways to trick people. You get fake experts is one way of tricking people. You get logical fallacies. That's another way. Impossible expectations. That's another way of discounting which is otherwise excellent information. Cherry picking the data. That's another way of tricking people, is you only take little pieces of the information to make your argument, and you ignore everything else that would make your argument look bad. Conspiracy theories. Everyone's, we all know about conspiracy theories. Like, Joe Rogan was putting out good information until he figured out he can make more money by selling conspiracy theories to people, because it's easy to make bullshit. It's hard to make knowledge. And Joe Rogan doesn't want to make knowledge. He wants to make easy bullshit so he can make money by tricking people who like conspiracy theories. Yeah, I hate Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's a jerk. What else do I got here? So anyways, let me tell you about the power of bullshit. Let me tell you a story about myself. What hit me? What just shot me? Oh, this guy. Let me tell you about the power of bullshit. I used to be on this program, the JET program. I taught English in Japan for 3 years. It was a great experience. Great experience. Japanese are awesome people. But while I was I made some friends and rah rah rah. So and they're all international. It was great. So one guy I know is from Poland, but he was representing Canada. And another guy I know is from Australia. All right. So hey Chanti, good morning. Welcome to my show. Welcome. I've done some work while you were gone. I made you I got some sheep, so we have wool, so you have your own bed. You can make your own base. You don't have to use my base anymore. You can make your own bed. So one night, I'm in Japan, in Nara, at an izakaya named Yaskyu's. Yaskyu, he's been doing his shop for like years, and he has a son that he was teaching how to do his izakaya. And it's like a real izakaya. It's not like the Western, like fancy izakaya. It's like a Japanese izakaya. Working class people go here to eat, like type thing, and hang out and drink and socialize. It was an izakaya. It was great. Like, how do you get to it? You take the JR Nara and you get off at JR Nara, and instead of going up the street up Sanjo Dori toward Todaiji, you go the opposite direction. And just for a little bit, you pass the mall, the little shopping mall thing, and you keep walking. You I think you pass the tomato. There was a shop there, like, that had it was a tomato. I forget what it was called, like the Lucky Tomato or something. But yeah, an Italian restaurant called something tomato in Japan. I don't know. But you pass that, and then you make a left down an alley, and there's Yasu's. So I would hang out there and, drink and eat, and it was a great time. And hang out with their other teachers in their other Japanese English teaching programs, not just JET, which was like the government program. There were private corporations doing it too, called Aeon and Nova. And they would get, it was essentially the same thing that JET was doing, except they were a private company. They had their own private schools. You didn't go to public schools to teach. It was their own schools. It was their own deal. But, and so they were kind of like, those workers kind of got the short end of the deal because they were in the private sector and they got screwed by their company. But whatever, that was the deal. So we all hung, we're a bunch of foreigners in Japan, so we all hang out. We went to this place called Yasu's. So this guy, Australian, he had along with him his friend. His friend was a Russian Orthodox. And this is back in like 2005, 6, 7. So, the world is a little more calm back then. It wasn't as crazy as it is now. So, but back then, right, so here's this Russian Orthodox guy hanging out there, and like we're talking about, global issues, and I'm a bit of a materialist. I've studied Marx. I follow dialectical materialism. I subscribe to the labor theory of value. so this Russian Orthodox dude like finds out that I'm into Marxism, and he loses his shit in an izakaya. He's a Russian Orthodox. He loses his shit in this izakaya. He's wearing, I guess it's an Orthodox cross, because it's like the cross, but it's got 2 lines instead of just 1. And he holds it, and he looks at me, and he's screaming, "Fuck you! Fuck you!" holding his cross. "Fuck you! Fuck you!" holding the cross, his Orthodox cross. The way he blesses is say, "Fuck you! Fuck you!" holding his Orthodox cross to me. And yeah, we got into it. We were arguing for big time. And we were arguing so much that I got so heated that I forgot to catch my train. And I missed the last train. I ran, but it pulled out of the station before I could get on. So I missed my train to get home. So I'm stuck in Nara City without a way home. And it's like midnight, and like the next train isn't until 6 in the morning. So I'm kind of screwed, and I'm sitting there arguing with this stupid Russian Orthodox person who's all into capitalism. He loves capitalism. Man, forget him. I was so mad at him. But now I have no place to sleep. So this Australian guy offered to let me sleep at his place, let me crash at his place. He didn't live very far from the station. And that was cool. Great. So he let me crash there. So I crashed at his house. All right. So I'm like, cool. This Australian guy, he's a cool guy. All right. This other guy, the Polish guy, he was always a bit crazy. He lived in another, I forget where he lived. He didn't live near me. He didn't live near Nara City. So it was a bit of a way to get to him. But we hung out one night, and he smoked me out in Japan, which is pretty amazing, right? I didn't have any connections. I didn't know how to get weed in Japan. In Japan, marijuana is treated the same as heroin and cocaine. It's the exact same. They treat it exactly the same. So yeah, they are hardcore into the drug war in Japan. They love putting people into prison for minor drug offenses. So it was a little bit scary. But this guy hooked me up in Japan and smoked me out. Being high in Japan was a great experience. So anyways, that guy was all right, and we talked. And he had been around the world too, right? He's Polish. And so we maintained contact on Facebook. All right, fast forward, right? Over the years on Facebook, shit happened. And me and the Australian guy talked. And the Australian guy was on the same team as Julian Assange. Julian Assange was the guy who made WikiLeaks. And WikiLeaks helped Russia to overthrow the elections in the United States. That's why WikiLeaks, that's why the United States is trying to extradite Julian Assange from England to the United States so he can stand trial for assisting in the overthrow of the United States government. So as the Russians were overthrowing the United States government in 2016, they created an online persona known as Guccifer 2.0. And this was the Russian. So you know how the Americans have the CIA. The Russians have their own version called the FSB. That's the Russian CIA. And they have their own hacking group. And their hacking group called the FSB, or the GRU, I forget what the acronym is. But their hacking group made up a name for themselves called Guccifer 2.0. And this persona talked to Julian Assange and talked to Roger Stone. Roger Stone is an associate, a close ally of Donald Trump. So the Russian government and Julian Assange and Donald Trump all worked together to time the release of information that would be damaging to the Democrats. They stole information, the Russians stole information from the Democrats and the Republicans. And the Russians said, look, Republicans, we have all this bad information on you. If you don't work with us, we're going to release your bad information. And the Republicans said, okay, Russia, we'll work with you. But please don't release our information. And the Russians said, okay, nice to do business with you, Republicans. So Russians and Republicans worked together to overthrow the government in the United States in 2016. Julian Assange was part of it. This Australian guy was very, very buddy-buddy. He was very friendly with Julian Assange. And he did not believe the United States. This Australian guy did not believe the United States. He believed Julian Assange and he believed Putin. He did not believe the United States. So I'm over here telling him, look, dude, your government, Australian government, has allied with the United States. So if your government is allied with us, why would you be against your own government? But yet there he was. He chose to join Putin. So I said, F you, motherfucker. Fuck you. Get out of here. Get out of here. And I blocked him. He's gone. That guy's gone. Okay, so that was years ago. Suddenly, yesterday morning, at 6 a.m, my phone starts making a noise I've never heard it make. I've never heard it before. So I get out of bed at 6 a.m. on a Saturday. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I look, and it's a Facebook phone call. I didn't know I had this. I didn't know I had this technology on my phone. But it's a Facebook phone call from Conrad, the Polish guy who represents Canada. So I pick it up, and it's Conrad. Holy shit, that's the guy who smoked me out in Japan. And who's on the phone with him? It's a Facebook phone call. And who's on the phone with him but the Australian guy who I ditched before? So I'm like, oh boy, what's going on here? So apparently the Australian guy and the Polish guy are real good friends. They're real guy friends. They're super guy friends. And this guy called me up and said, hey, what's up? Oh, look who's here. I'm like, oh, great. So we're talking, and the Polish guy has been teaching English in Saudi Arabia for 7 years. 7 years in Saudi Arabia? Holy shit. That place is a hellhole. That when I tell you about like the two different kinds of societies, Saudi Arabia is a society of authoritarianism. Like they exploit poor people and they have slaves in order for their economy to run. They're bad people, they have a bad system. Their rulers are bad people. Just like Putin is bad for the Russians, Mohammed bin Salman is bad for the Saudis, for all the Saudis. He's a bad leader. So this Polish guy has been teaching English in a bad country for 7 years because he made a bunch of money. He made bank. He could get all the sex workers he wanted. He loved it. He could get all the drugs he wanted. He loved it. In Saudi Arabia, he made tons of money, and for him it was great because he wasn't the guy getting exploited. So yeah, he loved it. So he's sitting there telling his Australian friend how much money he made and how many sex workers he got to exploit. And his buddy's like, yeah, that's great. And then they look at me and they're like, how about you? I'm like, what are you even talking to me for? So yeah, it went bad real quick. Like, the first thing I said, like, why did you bring him back? And I brought up the stuff that made us break up in the very beginning, which is, do you still believe Putin over the United States? Do you still believe Putin over the United States? And so what do? Instead of addressing the fact that Russia attacked the United States, they started up on the biggest what about I've ever heard. They would not even address the fact that Russia attacked the United States and is threatening Ukraine. They wouldn't even talk about it. All they talked about was how bad the United States was, how many brown people the United States killed, how they can't even talk about the stuff going on because both sides are just as bad. Both sides are just as bad. We don't want to talk about it. Both sides are just as bad. By the way, do you know how many sex workers I got to do? Oh my God, it was great. That tells me those two guys are fascists because they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. They used what about to completely kill the conversation and would not let me bring it up. They said, no, America's bad. We don't want to talk about it. And then they asked me, so Rob, what have you been doing over these past 15 years? Well, I'm like, for the past 4 years, I've been doing a show every week to teach Americans about how Russia and is invading and how there's a white supremacist takeover. And then they're like all blank faced, like, oh. They tried to get around it. They tried to pretend that the white supremacy wasn't an issue, but I kept bringing it back to the white supremacy. And because I wouldn't stop talking about the white supremacy and they couldn't get around it, they realized I wasn't a white guy like they were. I wasn't a fellow white person like they were. I'm not a fellow white person. Sorry, guys. I'm not in your party. I'm not going to join you in your exploitation of people around the world. Fuck you. So that ended that conversation pretty quick, which was weird, right? I mean, I knew this guy for 15 years, but it took me all that time to realize he is a white supremacist. He never came out and said it. He would never come out and say it. But he did lots of wink, wink, nudge, nudges. Lots of it. And the Australian guy was all for it. He was all down for it. But I wasn't. Man. It's a global phenomenon. Fascism is a global phenomenon. It's not just white supremacy in the United States. It's also the nationalism in Hungary. It's the oligarchy in Russia. It's the Nazis, the right wingers in France. Like, yeah, it's all over the place. It's the right wingers in Brazil with Bolsonaro. Yeah, it's all over the place. Yeah, it's funny how they tried to downplay it by talking about the United States only. Like, we don't want to talk about anything else. We're just going to talk about how bad the United States is, and by saying that, I can ignore everything Russia's done. They totally did that to me. I watched it happen. They basically disrespected me to my face, and then they wanted me to pretend like it didn't happen. Fucking pieces of shit. Fuck them. Fuck those guys. Make another bucket for lava. Oh man, it took so many years to figure out that he was a bad guy. Well, hey, check it out. I've got iron now. Oh boy. Uh-oh. Hey, Mr. Wandering Trader, what do you got to sell me? I'm looking for bamboo. No bamboo, huh? Oh, beetroot. Beetroot. Uh-oh. Let me go get a beetroot. Let me go. I have 1 emerald that I found while mining in the mountains. Where's my 1 emerald? Yeah, I have 2 emeralds. Let me use 1 of them for beetroot seeds. Yay, beetroot! I'm gonna, like, have more farming stuff. Hey, trader, give me your beetroot seed. Beetroot! Yes. Ha 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 ha! I now possess beetroot. Ha 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 ha! Okay. Yeah, like part of the issue is that people have to recognize that the world is messed up, and people don't want to see it because if you see that it's messed up, then you can't unsee it, and then it's gonna be stuck in your head forever. So a lot of times people just want to, not even pay attention. But if we don't see what's the problem, then we can't figure out how to fix it. We can make the world a better place. We can do it. I mean, that's what our ancestors were all about. That's why they set up all the stuff they did. It's not because they wanted to just roll over and give up. It's because they wanted to make the world a better place that they may not see themselves, but their kids would see. It's not always about doing stuff for that you can see for yourself. Sometimes you're setting it up for the next generation so they can really do it. What else do I got to show here? I'm going to do, okay, I got this one little bit here I want to do, and then that's it. Come on. Where's the fish? One more fish. No fish? Oh, there's no fish. It's not coming. It's not happening. What if I throw over by the fish? Come on, fish. Come get this. Oh. All right. There's my 1 fish. Okay. Okay. Mr. James Henning. Monsieur Chef James Henning. This man is the inventor of the macaroni pie dish. People nowadays call it mac and cheese, but back in the day it wasn't called mac and cheese, it was called macaroni pie. And this is the guy who invented it, James Henning. Now, he had a really interesting life. Because mac and cheese, that's like a staple of American food nowadays. Like, it's like everyone eats mac and cheese. We love it. So this guy, and then my grandma is like, our family has our own recipe of mac and cheese. For real. We have, but I don't even know, like, maybe this guy, it came from this guy. I don't know. So, like, But James Hemings. Here's the interesting thing. James Hemings, he is 3/4 European. He is 3/4 European. And 1/4 African. And yet, 3/4 European, he was born into slavery. 3/4 European, made into a slave. What kind of system is that? It had nothing to do with blood at that point. Come on. It was just straight up exploitation. Like, they didn't have a good system. They didn't even know their own system. They couldn't even figure it out for themselves. It was just arbitrary. 3/4 European, and the guy was a slave because his mom was a slave. Man, that had to mess with his head. That had to mess with his head big time. To be 3/4 European and yet be looked at as a slave just because your mom. And he invented mac and cheese. Jeez Louise. Yeah, I don't know the recipe. My mom has it and she makes it, and like she's like, she said use tomato juice, not paste. But I forget why. Anyways. So James Hemings. So check this out. He was born. Oh no. He was born into slavery to Betty Hemings, who was a mixed race daughter of an enslaved African mother and an English sea captain. So basically, the English sea captain raped an enslaved African, and then their daughter was Betty Hemings, who was half European and half African. Betty Hemings was raped by another person, John Wales. John Wales raped Betty Hemings, and who was another captain. And then so Betty Hemings is half European, and John Wales is full European. So their son was 3/4 European. They lasted until 12 years until he died. He had 6 kids with her. They were 3/4 European by ancestry. So Wales died in 1773, leaving the 10 children to his daughter Martha Jefferson, leaving Betty and the 10 children to his daughter Martha. So Wales had another daughter with a white woman, and then he raped Betty and had 10 kids with Betty. And when Wales died, he left his raping partner and his 10 children to his white wife, Martha Jefferson. And then Martha married Thomas Jefferson. So Martha brought the Betty and her 10 children, who was the rape partner for Wales, over to Thomas Jefferson. So Thomas Jefferson, through this convoluted system, came to own James Hemings, 3/4 European man, who was a slave. He worked for Thomas Jefferson for his entire life until he was 19. Thomas Jefferson then took James with him to France. But in France, slavery was outlawed. So Thomas Jefferson was like, oh, dude, I got this guy with me. I'm not paying him. Slavery is illegal here. I guess I better pay him. So Thomas Jefferson started paying James Hemings to hang out and do stuff for him. So while he was in Paris, James Hemings took his money that he earned from Thomas Jefferson. He taught himself French, and he enrolled he taught himself French. He paid for his own French. Thomas Jefferson paid for James Hemings to learn in the French cuisine, to become a French cook. And James Hemings became a French cook, and then went back, French chef, and then went back to America with Thomas Jefferson. But back in America, slavery is legal. So now James Hemings, after being a free man over in France for a number of years, went back to the United States, where he was a slave again. He's like, wait a minute, I'm 3/4 European. I was free over in France. Now I'm back here in America and I'm not free? The hell is going on? So Thomas Jefferson's all like, yeah, that's a pretty crappy situation. Yeah, let me keep paying you then. So Thomas Jefferson kept paying James Hemings. But James Hemings is like, you know what? This situation is not good. I don't want to be your boy. I don't want to be a slave. You know, you're going to free me because this is not cool. And Thomas Jefferson's like, okay, I'll free you, but then I don't have a cook. Come on, dude, at least teach your brother. Teach your brother what you learned. That way you can, when you teach your brother, you can, take off, and that way I'll still have someone to make food for me. So James Hemings is like, fine. So he spent a while to teach his brother how to be a chef. And after he taught his brother, he took off to be a private citizen, an own free man. And he worked in pubs and stuff, and he taught stuff. But I can't help but think that the contradiction of his life experiences had to really mess with his head. To be born a slave, but yet be 3/4 European, and then go to Europe, and then be not a slave, and see how everyone else lives, and then go back to America and go back to the old way, that had to mess with his head. Even though he got his freedom afterwards, the rest of society hadn't changed. And so he was still a very enlightened person, very aware person, aware of the contradictions of society, and yet powerless to change them. Yeah, it's no wonder the dude drank himself to death. He saw very clearly what a messed up situation was going on in the United States. And he saw it back in 1700s. 300 years before us. Wow. So whenever you eat mac and cheese, you think of James Heming, the man who invented it, who perfected it, brought it back to America to make it a staple of American diet, and how he could see the contradictions in the American society, and it hurt him so bad he killed himself. He couldn't handle it. Because he saw with his own eyes the situation here. James Hemings. All right, I think that's going to do it for me. Thanks for hanging out. I mean, I played a little bit of Minecraft. I got a few stacks of gold. That's nice. Or of iron. Or of, yeah. $30, I can enchant something else. Yay. Everything's glitching out. I don't know how much is on here anymore. Anyways. All right. Well, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for listening to me tell my stories. You know what? Before I go, I didn't mean to insinuate that the Russian and the Chinese woman I met in Xi'an were bad people. They were great people. I would not have been able to find the mosque if it wasn't for them. I would not have been able to find the pagoda if it wasn't for them. They didn't do anything bad to me. They never suggested to me that they were trying to seduce me. They never tried to do anything bad to me. They were great people. I was just flipping out in my own head, and I apologize if I, for insinuating, for making them look bad. I didn't want them, they were great. They helped me out a lot when I was in China. And I'm sorry that if I made it sound like they were bad people. They were not bad people. They were great people. They did good things for me. They helped me out. So, anyways, okay, I'm done. Until next time, America. Peace around the world. Okay, Out. Done. Stop.